You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Thanks for listening. If you're here for Larsen Thompson and you never listened to the podcast before, I hope you'll like it enough to say, hey, this guy doesn't suck, and I'll listen to to more episodes. I think you'll really enjoy it, and Larsen's fantastic. And, we talk about mental health and a lot of fun stuff. Well, speaking of health, so I did this thing, Pernuvo. It's they do a scan on your body. I've talked about it before. In fact, I posted about it, and they don't pay me. It's not a paid advertisement or anything like that. But they detect early stages of cancer and everything except for like leukemia. So I did the test, and I got the test results back. And there was one thing that was moderate risk that was in the yellow that they said you should get more imaging on this. And it was in my pharynx, which is behind your larynx and is what makes swallowing, I think, and like all these things work with your throat. They found a cyst. And so I went to my ENT, and the ENT did a scope and saw the cyst and said, I think we should get more imaging. I want to make sure there's nothing under this cyst. And I was just like, I was like, okay, all right. And then I went to Indiana. And in the back of my mind, I was always thinking of that cyst and like, wow, tomorrow I could get bad information that could be really scary. And, of course, like an idiot, I read about all these things. And if you have cancer in that area, it's like you have a 5% chance of living. It's like just, you're done. And so as the days I started thinking about my mortality, and I started thinking, well, all right, well, what would you do? And I kind of came to terms with like, all right, here's what you would do. And I sort of like, you're going to go visit so-and-so. You're going to go here. You're going to throw a party for your friends. It's like that song by Tim McGraw.
Live like you were dying.
Live like you were dying. But
it's a great song.
People always think about that stuff. And if you knew that you weren't going to have long, or that the other person was going to have, what would you do? And you do all these things. And then you think about, well, why don't you just do them now? And it's so true how it's like, we have the ability, if, most of us do, or some of us do, if you have the ability, to do the things you want to do. Because you just don't know. I could have got a call, and I just got this call is why we are re-recording the intro. But if I got a call and it was the doctor, and I was thinking, and if he said, "Hey, are you sitting down?" I mean, all these thoughts come in your head. But anyway, knock on wood. Thank God. God bless. I'm okay. So.
Very glad you're okay.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man. Me too. Life's too short, and it could have been shorter.
You didn't have to go skydiving, Rocky Mountain climbing.
On a
2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu.
Mm-hmm. I love that song. I went skydiving. All right. Anyway, hey, our socials are Ryan
at Inside of You Pod on Twitter, at Inside of You Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. I had to think about it for a second.
I know it's been a while.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. If you want to watch, please subscribe. It helps the show immensely. And write a review. That really gets us up on the charts. Also, the Inside of You online store has amazing new merch, and I'm getting some really cool stuff. Check this out, Ryan. This guy made this sculpture of me as Lex, and brought it to a con. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I was thinking, wow, what would it cost to make 9 of these? I say 9 because I'd keep one. And I'd put the others on the Inside You online store, and they're so hard to make. And this is an artist. And so, I spent a lot of money to get these made, and they're pretty incredible. And I'm going to put them up soon, but there's only going to be 9. They'll be a little pricey because there's 9 and they'll be signed by me, but they're awesome. And on the Inside You online store, there's tons of merch. Lex Miss Scripps autograph for me, and ship keys that say Smallville from the show, and tons of other stuff. Tumblers. I'm getting new tumblers in a week or two. They're amazing. My sister works for this company, PostNet. And they're making me all these cups, and I get a discount because I'm her brother. I'm not her sister. Anyway, also love you. Thank you for the support. Join patreon.com/inside of you. I'll give a shout out on the podcast with your name. You support the podcast and you're the reason why I still do this. You keep the show going. And so thank you for that. And that's about it. Ryan, you doing all right?
I'm doing good. I'm getting away too. I'm going our bachelor party weekend in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Didn't you just go to a bachelor party?
Yeah, someone just said that to me and I can't think of what it was.
Yeah, it was something like the last time you were with those guys, you like got too drunk or something.
No, that's my seizure story from that I.
But that was like 5 years ago.
That was like 5 years ago. Yeah.
But then weren't you meeting with those people again?
I
don't know. I can't remember.
either.
But anyway, you're traveling. You're good.
I'm traveling, so I'm getting out of town.
You need
a
it.
bit.
You like it. You love it. You live it.
That's good. So this the guy who's marrying my sister, I'm gonna hang out with him and all his friends.
Oh boy,
yeah,
some
see how that
stories.
goes. Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right, let's just do it. Let's get into this. She's amazing. She was so wonderful. She brought her mom on the podcast, not on the podcast, but she was in the other room laughing. I could hear her, and she was awesome. She was awesome. Her mom was awesome. What a great family. She's in Midnight Club. She models. She's on Instagram. Follow her. She's fun. She's beautiful. She's cool. That's the most important thing. Her name is Larsen Thompson. So let's get inside of Larsen Thompson. It's my point of view. You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum was not recorded in front of a live studio audience. Larsen Thompson. Is that your real name?
Yeah.
I've never met a Larsen.
Well, it's actually usually a last name, but it was my great grandma's last name with an O. My parents were like, we really like that name. Let's make it our first name and end it with an E. Larsen.
It's a cool name. You know what it
think so.
sounds like, Ryan?
Tell us.
Put the mic to your mouth, for God's sakes.
What? What do you want from me?
Larsen sounds like a popular girl's name. Like a popular in high school. Are you going to Larsen's party? Yeah. I wasn't invited. Were you popular? Just admit it. Just go with it. Roll with whatever you were. I wasn't. You were.
No.
Let's just go with that. Well, all right.
Hey, well, I didn't really get to have the normal high school experience. I went through all of middle school, but I was every day after school gone at the dance studio. Didn't really get time to hang out with friends or ever go to parties.
Really?
High school, I went out my sophomore year. So didn't really have the high school experience. Was able to go to prom, which was...
I didn't.
Oh.
I never went to a high school dance. Hold on a second. Hey, is she a little too, the spacing on here is a little too... Perfect.
She has too much space.
Space. Name this
Space.
Name this TV show, Larsen. Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the...
Star Wars.
Track. It's okay. You're 0 for 1. There'll be more.
No, don't give me these. I watch so many movies, but when it comes to any type of references or anything like that, I just go brain
You go
dead.
blank.
Yeah, go blank.
But you're probably a reader, so you remember.
Yeah, I do read.
You do.
I like to read.
What do you read?
I read a lot of self-growth books, a lot of faith books.
I like it.
Just in ways to grow as a person, as an individual, and in my crafts.
Are you more spiritual, you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty spiritual. I grew up Christian, and now I have my own personal relationship with God and walk with Him, and it's really a part of who I am. It's what keeps me grounded, and I'm really just thankful for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you're 22.
22.
Again, what I like about this is I usually interview people mid-30s, 40s, 50s, older.
Yeah.
And so you have people that have really lived a little. They've had a lot of experiences. They've had a lot of issues and facing adversity and depression. So I wanted to talk to someone that's obviously bright and cheerful and awesome and talented, but someone that was younger to get a perspective from that and what you're starting to go through, what you're starting to learn about yourself, what you're starting to learn about others, the industry. So I want to get into all that because I think that's really cool. And it's a perspective I remember but it was different time.
Mhm.
It was a different time. It was, it just was. It was different.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm 80, but it was different. But childhood was good for you?
Yeah, childhood was really good for me. I'm really thankful.
Because your mom's in the other room.
Yeah, my mom's in the other room. My parents.
she is a joy.
She is really a joy. They are my best friends. Like, I'm so close with my parents. I'm very thankful and fortunate for that. Just their support system, the way that they've, through their wisdom and the way that they've, gone through struggles and battles and the way they've raised me as a teenager, starting in the industry so young. I mean, I started at
4.
I started dancing at 4 and then began working in the industry around 12.
That's crazy. Now, is it something that Elizabeth, your mom, pushed you into? Was she like a mommy dearest chick? Because we were talking about that back there and she made a joke kidding. But I'm wondering, was she kind of like, I want you to do this. You're so beautiful, Thompson. You need to do this.
No. So actually, I guess like my aunt was in the Olympics as a gymnast. And my mom was like, I always had this desire
What's
to
her
like,
name?
Julianne McNamara, 1984.
Gold medalist?
Gold medalist.
For what?
Bars. She's like the...
What?
Yeah. She's incredible.
How old is she now?
Unbelievable. She's 58.
Oh, she's still young.
Yeah, she's young.
She's young. That's young.
Yeah.
Right?
It's funny because my aunt and I look like twins, and my cousin, my aunt's daughter, and my mom look like twins. It's very weird. But everyone's like, you look just like your aunt. But I think my mom grew up in that kind of environment with my aunt leaving when my mom was like 12 years old. And so my mom and I grew up very, very close because of that. And I had this desire for dance. I never really took it seriously about the age of 10. And the studio owners were coming.
Who would take it seriously
Who
at 10?
would take it
I
seriously
don't take
at 10?
shit seriously at my age.
Yes, I know.
I mean, you can. I think that's how you get through things.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I think the studio owners were coming up to my mom being like, we don't think Larsen dances for Larsen. She's, all over the place. She has too much energy, definitely like ADHD. There's something going on here.
Yeah.
And so my mom was like, well, if you're not, she'll prove you wrong. And my mom was just like, Larsen, like, where do you want to take this? Like, do you want to take this seriously? Like, is dance, a profession that you want to go into? Because you can start very, very young in dance. And I was like, I mean, yeah. So they started driving me to LA. I started meeting all the choreographers at Millennium Dance Complex.
Because you grew up in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah, in Thousand Oaks.
You still live there? Same house?
Yeah, same house.
Holy shit. Are your parents still married?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, how many years?
26 years.
It's funny because my parents divorced after 27. But, that was, it happened when I was a little bit older. So it was still very difficult. Not because I really cared, but because I had to. I didn't realize, I knew they shouldn't be together. Okay. I knew that it was just like oil and vinegar.
Yeah.
This wasn't right. They fought. There's passive aggression. There was a mutual respect after a while. I think they really loved each other when they were younger.
Yeah.
But my mom's more of a, not ostentatious. Oh, she could be that if she had money. But more of, what's the word when you're just like all over the place? Flamboyant and attention whore.
Oh.
Well, no. Well, I could be an attention whore. I'm like, I want to be the center of attention. It wasn't. I didn't mean a whore.
Yeah, no,
Like
I know what you mean.
Yeah, an attention.
Yeah. Loves attention.
Loves
Let's
attention.
just say that.
Jason, don't edit that out. I like it. Okay, this is good. But my parents, when they divorced, I was like, oh, of course. It wasn't a shock to me. My mother, she would call me at 3 a.m. while I was just starting my career.
Yeah.
I mean, not starting my career, but like got one of the biggest opportunities of my life. If I recall, it's when they divorced right when Smallville started. And so I'm trying to, it's a big thing to handle and like try to be good and stress and all that stuff. And they got divorced, but she would call me at 3 a.m. I can't do it. I can't live my life. And really tough.
Yeah.
So divorce can be incredibly tough.
100%.
And and especially if you're a young kid, you, whether you like it or not, you're going to have issues later that you have to work on.
Yeah.
But you, thank God, luckily came from an unbroken family, so what's that like?
I think it's, I don't think, behind closed doors, no family's perfect. None of us are perfect individuals. And so it's like the lesson I've learned from my parents is like marriage is not easy. It's very hard. I see my parents struggle and the challenges they have, but they fight for their marriage. My dad and my mom, they fight for it. And I think that's what I admire most about them is the way that they still spend time together and they go and take trips to, reestablish their love and to connect again.
And they talk.
Yeah, they talk a lot. I come from a very vulnerable, emotional family. We don't
Really?
hide. Yeah.
Does Elizabeth cry a lot?
Elizabeth does cry a lot.
What does she cry at?
She cries when her kids are in pain. She cries when life is just hard.
What pain have you been in that she's cried about? One that you think of right away. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things. But sometimes life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up in the way you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you. Because when you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. And who couldn't use a few better coping skills to be able to handle all of life's curveballs? Look, if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. BetterHelp can help you be the best you possible. Try it today. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/inside today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/inside. Inside of You is brought to you by Home Chef. Look, we make thousands of decisions every single day. And by the end of the day, the last decision we want to worry about is what is for dinner. I mean, I got to get somebody in my life here, Ryan. I'm alone and it's especially hard. So what do I want to do? I want to order food all the time. This is where Home Chef comes in, Ryan. Say goodbye to meal planning, recipe-induced stress, last-minute grocery store runs, and let Home Chef bring simple, delicious home-cooked meals right to your door. How is that? How about not going anywhere and somebody delivering you everything to make the perfect meal? And that means the exact amount of ingredients you need, the exact amount of this, that. You don't have to worry about buying, too much and having it sit in your fridge and rot and spend more money. It's all there for you. It's simple. I do it. It's so easy. Home Chef makes your nightly routine easier and more exciting with a wide selection of delicious meals that arrive at your doorstep in the form of fresh, perfectly pre-portioned ingredients and an easy-to-follow recipe card.
With 30 unique and flavorful chef-curated meal options available each week, Home Chef ensures your taste buds will never get bored.
Home Chef will recommend meals based on your selected preferences with plenty of menu options to fit any dietary needs.
Don't have time to cook? Have a hot, delicious meal on the table in a snap with quick solutions like their 15-minute recipes, microwave meals, and oven-ready options that save you time and effort in the kitchen. Plus, cleanup is a breeze.
I just love this company. I love what they do, and you're getting delicious meals that are right there for your cooking. So, a lot of times when you get these meals that are already prepared, they've been sitting around, you get them, you go to work and you get there and they've been there for 4 hours in like ice or whatever, but it just seems kind of, it's sort of artificial. It feels like you don't really want to eat it because it's not, usually when you order food at a restaurant, you get it and you eat it and it's hot, it's there. So you have to heat up crap. And this is just like brought to you and you cook it. And all the stuff is there for you. It's so easy. You can be done in 15 minutes and you've got a hot cooked meal that you've made and you can feel accomplished because that's what it's all about, right? Fulfillment. If you have specific dietary needs, explore carb and calorie conscious menu items, customize your proteins, swap for vegetarian friendly options. What I loved, it was the perfect amount of food. I mean, I usually eat all of them. And if not, I know that it's just one heat up if I want to have leftovers. I love chicken. It's delicious. And it was easy to make. I mean, I had a skillet and, it says, just add this. Okay. It's all pre-portioned or it's so easy, guys. Home Chef. For a limited time only, go to homechef.com/inside for 75% off your first box. You can't lose with that. 75% off your first box. Give this a shot. Again, go to homechef.com/inside for 75% off. Something that really hurt you or you were really sad and she felt your pain? Was it a breakup? Was it a...
I think where my mom gets the most frustrated and angry is when people, like my mom is like the mama bear, where like when people online come at me and they don't know who I am, that really affects her.
And they,
where I'm very much like I brush it off and I'm like, hey, you know what? Like I'm not going to let this affect me. I am who I am. I know who I am. These people don't know me. But my mom is the mama bear where she's like, I can't believe they would say that about you. And it gets her really frustrated. And I'm like, Mom, it's okay.
Wow.
We don't know them. They're probably behind a computer screen, just like
trolls.
Yes. Just like taking out their own insecurities or things that they're facing and putting it onto somebody else.
Yeah. Every once in a while I'll read a comment like, very few, but like, he wasn't the best, Lex. I'm just kidding.
You are the best.
It's a joke. I mean, it's a joke. But Ryan, how many guests have come in here over the years and said, I don't read reviews. I don't look at critics. A lot of them have said that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think it's a healthy thing, right?
I know, but it's something also that feeds your ego and makes you feel like you're worthy. And then it sometimes crushes your ego and makes you feel like shit. So it's better to not and just kind of stay balanced, I guess. But I'm one that sometimes likes... I make the mistake of thinking something that I did was really good or I was really good and they're going to notice me. And that's a mistake because then you're like, what? How could you think this way? And then it's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
So all I will suggest to you is definitely don't believe what you're reading, especially for people that don't know you, and try to take things with a grain of salt or try to stay away from that stuff and just do the best because it will interfere in your life.
Yeah. No, I find it too. Like, I started acting 3 years ago. I had been doing it since I was a kid, kind of took a break and then was like, I want to do this for real now. And I still am like, I can't stand watching myself. I have a weird thing.
We hear that a lot with actors.
Like, it's very hard for me because I'm my biggest critic.
What are you looking at? Are you looking at your face?
No, never mind. I'm just looking at like
acting.
My acting.
All right. So you're okay looking at yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I'm pretty. I'm not worried about that. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't.
No, but it's a good thing. Yeah. It's good to know. I'm telling you, 90% of actors don't like watching themselves because they're like, oh God, my nose. Oh, look at the bags under my eyes.
See,
oh, look at this.
What's very interesting is in acting, even if I feel like I've talked to a lot of people that are very aware of how they look when they're like crying or if they're screaming. When I'm acting, I could care if I look ugly. I'm like, great.
Good.
I was in it. That was it. I could care less if there's like tears and I'm like, no snot coming down.
Trust the director.
Yes. I'm like, this is acting. This is what it is. Like, you're not in real life, like worried about like snot coming down your nose and being like.
Have you had those moments where you're crying like that?
Yeah. Most recently, I was working on a film called Horrorscope with Sony Pictures. I just got back from it. So I was there for 3 months in Belgrade, Serbia.
Who's in that?
Jacob Batalon from Spider-Man, Harriet Slater, who else? Umberly Gonzalez.
And a big
Avantika.
role.
Yeah, there's 7. It's an ensemble cast. There's 7 of us, all leads. And
scary?
Scary movie.
Ooh,
yes, deals with horoscopes and a lot of what, this generation is very into horoscopes these days. And I think it will do, there's also like a sense of entertainment to it. I think it will do really well. And I'm very excited about it. It comes out in 2023 in theaters. So
great.
It'll be.
You'll have to email me and let me know so Ryan and I can go see it.
Yeah, let's go.
Right?
We'll go.
But wait a minute. You were about to tell me something that happened on that set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is why I love horror the most. I think it's the most.
Wait a minute. You like horror the most?
I think.
Well, look around you.
Well, look at us.
Look around you. Look up here.
Sing it, Michael.
Make time. That's Little River Band.
Yeah.
Elizabeth probably knows it.
I never know.
Yeah, none of us, we didn't catch on.
So late, All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think I love it because it's the most challenging genre.
Yeah.
Especially for me, that's just how I feel. But putting yourself in these like the most unrealistic like circumstances and truly believing it. And like I had a scene I had to do. I can't like share the scene, but like something that was so just like
horrible.
Yeah, something that's just so it's not going to happen, so unrealistic, but like truly believing it. And that was where it's like you have like 5 cameramen that are just like there and sound.
Green screen too or whatever?
No, we weren't on a green screen.
Okay, so it was a real creature or whatever? Don't say anything. Stop.
Yeah. But to like be looking at people like, cough, like doing a little thing like that, or just adjusting and moving, and that's you're looking and trying to believe what you're seeing.
Well, not only that, but you're at the beginning of your career, so everything's new. So
yeah.
You being on set with all the crew and all the cast and the producers and the director, and they're all watching you, and they're like, Larsen, I forgot your name for a second.
Oh no.
No, I'm kidding. Because I was going to say Lars, because I was thinking S-O-N, because that was your grandma's spelling of it.
Yes.
No, and they're like, okay, Larsen, action. And you got to start crying and be emotional.
Totally.
And the most important thing you have to do, which you probably don't have a lot of experience doing, is really trusting yourself.
Yeah.
Which I've done stuff where I'm like, I don't know. And the first take, they're like, okay, then it needs to be a little big. We need to see more emotion. Second take, okay. And by the 5th take, I get there.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're going to get there in the first take with those emotions.
Totally. I mean,
She's crying. She's crying. Keep rolling, guys. Keep rolling. Fix the snot on her nose. And then I don't want to get that because that's ridiculous. Okay, good. It's distracting.
Well, I take a second too where I'll just be like, hey, I'm going to need, like, you call action. Give me a few seconds. I'm going to like scream and get there like emotionally.
You have your things to do.
Yeah, I do my things. Where
I do. I will. I'll sit there and go, come on, God. And I'll yell at myself and I go, come on, dude. Let's go. Just something I've seen. Like I worked with Jesse Eisenberg and the other Lex Luthor. I love him. He was great to work with.
Wow.
And what he does before every take, he just jumps up and down and turns in circles.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you have to be kind of like, if I'm playing a drugged up or emotional, sometimes I'll spin around. I'll do something, whatever it takes to get me going.
Exactly. And it's like getting out of your head. That's where it's like, I'll be just like doing jumping jacks, or I'll go like, I'm so weird. I'll be like running down the hall and then like, they're like, we need you. I'm like, all right, I'm up. I'm here. I'm ready. Just to like get me out of my head and stop thinking, get my heart going or something.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're learning the tricks of the trade.
I guess.
I mean, have you ever just felt like you didn't get it? You just couldn't pull it out. Like, it's okay, it's fine. But you're like, it's not great.
Yeah. And being so hard on myself and being a perfectionist, I struggle with that a lot, where I'll like come out of it and be like, gosh, I could have done better. And I'm like so grateful the film that I just did, there was this one scene that I had so much going on that day, and it was a pretty emotional scene, and I was like, gosh, I walked out of there and was like, I could have done better. And that's like the worst feeling, I feel like.
I've done that many times.
And then next thing you know, they're like, we need to catch some more. We didn't get to catch for that scene everything we wanted to get, so we're gonna cover it again. And I was like, yes. Like, it was the best feeling, because I was like, yes, I get another go at it, and I just felt so much better about it.
I'll tell you a story. Even the biggest stars in the world go through this. Sly Stallone, icon, worked with him in Guardians 3 that's coming out, in Guardians 2, and he's a hero that when you meet him, you're like, funny as hell, signed my Rambo lunchbox, just epic. And you know what he says to me? He says, he's signing my lunchbox. He goes, you got a lunchbox? I go, yeah. He goes, how old are you? He's like, yeah, you're a little low for a lunchbox. Got a freaking thermos in here. What are you doing? And I was like, yeah. And he laughed. He was joking around, but a joy to work with. I mean, he would crack jokes, but there was one scene we did, and he has this line, and it was fine.
Yeah.
I watched it, I go, they got it. But he later called the director and said, look, I'd love to do it again. I'd love to just shoot my close-up again. I think I could do a better job. I think I could do it better. And the first thing, we woke up the next morning, we went to set for his close-up just to get that, and did it again for Sly, and he was better.
Wow.
So it doesn't just happen. Now, if I called and said, hey, I think I could do better, I was like, no, we're not losing money. We're not losing money on you, Rosenbaum. We've already lost money on your performance the last day. But that should make everybody feel good knowing that it's not an easy job to make things seem real, believable.
Yeah.
You know how many times you watch a movie and go, that was her reaction? Mm-hmm. Like we laugh about it, but the guy in Smallville, who's a really good actor, there's a scene where a body drops out of a closet and his response is, damn, who's that? We laugh about it all the time. But he's like, damn, who's that?
What's very weird though is like
it's like, what? It's a dead body.
Like
This podcast is brought to you by Dove Men Plus Care. Guys, do you get distracted during the day thinking about your underarms sweating or itching or emitting an odor? Oh. Do those thoughts keep you from showing care when it counts? New and improved Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant with 72-hour sweat and odor protection and 1/4 moisturizing cream helps you forget about your underarms so you can be present for the moments that matter. Don't let underarm insecurities keep you at arm's distance from the ones you care about. Buy new and improved Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant wherever personal care products are sold. This message is sponsored by Discover. Did you know you could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection? The latest innovation from Discover. Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And they'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
No, but what's very interesting is like I watch movies with my brother who is just doesn't understand acting, you know, could look at anything and be like,
he doesn't think about those things.
No. And it's like, as an actor, when I like watch movies now, I can point out like continuity things. And I'm like, I hate that I'm like that now. Cause I'll be like, that was not, no. And now with him, I watch with him. I'm like, did you notice that? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, it's just an actor thing, I guess.
You know, that's some perspective right there. What you just said, we haven't talked about. It's such a different world when you as someone who's in the profession, it's what you do for a living, and you're watching something, you're critical of it. I saw a camera shadow. Oh, I think I saw was that the mic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, wait a minute. Her hair wasn't like that. What? And you go to the Midwest and you're like, man, that movie was awesome.
Yes.
Man, I go, you didn't notice this or this? No, I thought she was awesome. So we're so hard on ourselves that I'm coming to believe, I'm realizing that even if I'm not what I think I should be, it's probably going to be fine.
Yes.
They're probably going to go, yeah, it's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to be great. How do I be the greatest in every line? But in reality, 90% of the world, 98% of the world that's not in Hollywood,
100%.
They're okay. They're okay with a lot of the stuff that we notice that we don't like.
Exactly.
Like, we watched a movie last night, a horror movie, The Prodigy.
Okay.
It's this kid. He played Georgie in It.
Yeah.
Great little actor.
Yeah.
He
unbelievable.
was fantastic. And I thought the movie was okay. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, I recommend it. It's not great.
Yeah.
But there was a scene where they go to this doctor and they play a tape because she recorded her son speaking in a different language. And she goes, oh, can I keep this? And the mother's like, yeah. And the next scene, she takes it to this guy. And the next scene is the guy talking about, oh, that was a Hungarian language, which is fine. Okay, you speak Hungarian. Great. I believe that. And then he gets this whole thing like, I think what he's suffering from is perhaps this, and tells the whole story in one monologue, like what we need to know as an audience instead of letting us learn things, like thinking we need to tell the audience. And it pissed me off so much. And my friend Rob, who is the lead guitarist in my band Sunspin, throw it out there. I know. Shameful? Well, shameless. He helps me on vocabulary. I looked at Rob after he says, I really like that movie. I go, what about the... Yeah, I didn't care about that. Kind of helped me kind of figure it out. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Do you say the F word?
I don't, but... Michael, what? But my mom curses like a sailor.
Do you say F?
No, I say like,
Go ahead, fudge.
I say like
Frick.
and crap.
I try not to swear. I really do. I have a friend, his name is John Heater, and I laugh at him, not because he's Mormon. I love Mormons. They're fine people, great people, in fact. Monogamists, a lot of great stuff. But John, he doesn't swear. And someone goes, oh gosh, that was effed. It's like, dude, was that his D? Did they just show his D? Gosh. And at first I laughed, but then I started doing it. So now I do that because I think it's funnier.
Yeah.
And it's like, instead of saying F, I just get, F word, I just say F. Freaking F.
I like saying frick. Like
frick.
Like it feels good. But it's funny because the first time I ever said the F word was in a self-tape like 4 years ago.
Were you embarrassed to say it?
No, it like felt good.
I thought
It
you were
was
going to
like,
say it F and felt good. That would have been genius. It felt good?
It was like it had never come out of my mouth. And it was just like, dang, all right.
Did you, when you were younger, was there any moments in your life so far? Because I know you're young. I know you haven't lived. I mean, you've lived, but you haven't, lived. You haven't lived. You need to live, girl. There's so much life ahead of you. But was there a moment like growing up where you were sort of not a good person or not a good girl, or maybe going through a tough time, or maybe kind of mean at times and then feel bad about it later and maybe effed? I mean, not effed, but you said the F word.
Yeah. Let's see.
Was there a time where your mom was like,
Larsen
hey,
come
Thompson, or Larsen, I want to say Thompson Larsen. Larsen.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Probably around the age of 14. I was going through a little bit of a...
Rebellious?
Not really rebellious. I was just very on edge, very hard to deal with.
Hormonal?
Yes, very hormonal.
Yes.
And it was also right at the time that I kind of made the transition from dance into modeling. And I was like kind of heartbroken to kind of be leaving dance in that industry. And that was always like an outlet for me when I was depressed, when I was sad or felt anxiety. I would literally go to the studio and just like dance.
Forget
for like
about
8
everything
hours.
for hours.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Exercise,
100%.
things that you're passionate about. You escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was my escape. And so I feel like I had an injury. And so that's most of the reason why I kind of had to pause on dance for a while with my neck. And it was actually...
surgery?
No, I didn't. But it was actually...
I had 2 neck surgeries.
Really?
Yeah. Played sports my whole life. I'm always in pain. It's life. It's just how it goes.
Oh no, Michael.
Yeah, it's okay. People have pain.
Yeah.
Not like me, but go on.
Yeah, and I still like struggle with it. I did my own stunts. This was kind of... I learned my lesson there.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, and I just basically messed up my ligaments, one of my discs.
Got an epidural, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know those.
Yeah.
Did they put you to sleep for the injection?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I liked it.
It was really cool, actually.
People
He's
are
like,
scared
count
of
to 4. 1, 2.
Out. What's funny is people always say, when they put you to sleep, aren't you afraid you're going to die? I'm like, I won't know. I'll be dead.
It's true.
I'll fall asleep and I'll die. That's the best way to go. If that happens, God forbid. All right. It's better than get hit by a car and living through it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know what's very interesting?
Yeah. What?
Redheads, we take double the anesthesia.
What?
So, yes.
Are you aliens?
I guess so.
Double the anesthesia.
No kidding. And this woman I was talking to the other day, she's a natural redhead. Her hair is black now. She has to tell him before, or hear her, whoever is doing her anesthesia, like, I'm a natural redhead. And then they know I got to up the dosage.
Really?
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it is wild. I've never heard that. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. I don't do drugs. I barely drink. But whenever I have to have an epidural and they put me to sleep, I can't wait. It's like a weird addiction. It's like I don't go get them every day, but like, once every 8 months, sometimes, whatever, sometimes a couple in a year.
Yeah.
But when I go that morning, I'm like, the anesthesiologist comes over, Dr. Shit you not, Krakorkian, wears a bandana, kind of hippie dude. I'm like, listen, Dr. Krakorkian, and I do this every time. I go, I don't do any drugs. I barely drink. This is like my only time to really feel good, if not for, and what I'm saying to you is, I don't want to be injected with this stuff and then fall immediately to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Let me enjoy it for a few minutes. Let me just enjoy it and lie here and feel good for a few minutes. And he goes, absolutely. So he does it little by little so I can kind of enjoy it.
Wow.
It's not, here's the funny thing. I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just groggy. And he comes over and I go, dude, you said you were going to let me feel it for a few minutes. And he goes, I did. You don't remember filming yourself on your phone? I go, I looked at my phone. There was like 3 minutes.
Are you serious?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, listen to this joke. And talking to all the nurses and laughing. And I'm like, oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
It was hysterical. And I was like, wow.
Isn't it the weirdest feeling though when you wake up and you're just, I don't remember.
No recollection of anything.
That is the craziest part for me is when I wake up and I'm like, we're done? Like how long was I?
Do you still get them?
Yeah, I still get epidurals for my neck. I'm like about to go in January.
Is your doctor Dr. Port?
No, Dr. Bajaj.
Bajaj sounds fancy. Bajaj. Yeah, I got a Dr. Bajaj. Where is he at? In Beverly Hills?
No, in Marina Del Rey.
You said that.
Did I?
I think she did, didn't she?
No,
I can't run it
I
back.
can't. Let's rewind this tape. Can we rewind live? We're not live. You've done some cool stuff. Like I read about this. I was like, you choreographed a YouTube video that went viral, receiving 4 million views in 2016. You were 15.
Yeah.
And then later that year, you choreographed another YouTube video for Run the World, which I think is Beyonce.
Yeah.
Doesn't say here. Received 8 million views. How the hell? What?
There's a lot of buildup. There's a lot of dramatic pauses.
Well, I'm just like, I look, because I think I look at 15 and I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, what happened to my pants? Oh my God, like, what am I doing? I didn't know what I was 15. I had no maturity. I was just like, no brain, your frontal cortex, so it's not formed. You don't think of as the things you think of later. But you're moving at 15 and how did that happen? I mean, how did you say, this is what I'm going to do? Was your idea? This is what happened.
So my friend Taylor and I,
Taylor Swift?
No,
Oh.
I wish. Love her.
Me too.
My friend Taylor and I, we had been working with a choreographer named Janelle Ginestra, and we had this idea where like, there's so many dance videos out there where people are, we're in class. That's when all the social media stuff kind of started pumping around. Like when I was like 13, everyone was filming their classes now, putting them up on YouTube, and it was just like gaining a lot of traction. And our choreographer, Janelle, and Taylor and I were like, okay, how could we make this different? And she was like, why don't we start doing dance concept videos? Let's tell a story through dance. And I'm like, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Let's have a message behind each one and let's go for it. And so the first one we did, it was really just for fun. The two of us, we called ourselves the Fraternal Twins. We kind of looked a little bit similar, and
she needed less anesthesia. All right, go ahead, go on.
And we filmed the first one, and it was to IDF with you. And
what's that mean?
I don't frick with you.
Oh, so you could acronym that shit, but you can't say it, huh?
No. The thing is, I grew up dancing to, I look back at like videos on YouTube when I was like 12 dancing to the most like crazy music. But at that time in dance, like I never listened to the lyrics because every move for us is on the beats. So I look back at like videos of at 12 dancing to the most like insane songs. And I'm like, no wonder in the comments people are like, why do you have a 12-year-old dancing to this?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've seen stuff like that. And I'm like going, they're letting their kids listen to this music?
Yes.
Well, guess what? It was the same thing when I was younger. I was listening to 2 Live Crew. Everybody say, hey. I won't say it, but they said some gnarly shit. And listening to NWA. Frick the police coming down with authority.
It's totally it.
And I would beatbox.
Hey.
Larsen Thompson. Okay.
Oh, all right. So then we did the one for Beyonce, Run the World, and that one was just about women empowerment, and that was one of my favorite ones, just the message behind it, and it just, we went to sleep, and I swear it was like, we woke up and there was like 3 million views, and we were like, wait, what? Like, what?
But how do people even like, I put some funny ass stuff up.
Yeah. You're
and I'm
funny.
like, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is funny. But for some reason, I guess I don't have that. Did you already have a lot of followers?
From the first video, we kind of already had like a fan base. That one kind of grew over time. Like within a week, it was just like, whoa, this is crazy. And like, Good Morning America. And we have these people reaching out to us to like come on the show. And we're like, wait, what? This is just nuts.
Did you get any money for all the views?
So it wasn't on my channel.
Did they split it with you?
Well, I actually don't know if those videos were monetized because
4 million gets you some money these days.
Yeah.
4 million, you probably would have gotten $15,000,
Yeah.
$20,000 for that video.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
It is wild.
Did Beyonce call you or message you?
She posted us on Twitter and like put up our video, and I think that's how that one kind of sparked.
She loved it. She sent it out, and boom.
Yeah.
And that started getting you some attention.
Yeah, and that's kind of
and
how
you're
I built...
dancing. I need to watch this. We need to go watch this.
Yeah.
Are you great in this? Is it pretty cool?
Yeah, you should watch it. It's very funny because people are always like, Larsen, you're this very like, you know, soft-spoken individual.
Shy, kind of.
Yeah, kind of just like, you know, and then you dance and it's like this beast comes out.
You're
it's
on
like,
fire.
We don't even recognize you. I'm like, yeah, you know.
That's where that passion comes out, isn't
yeah,
it?
100%.
Do you still dance?
Yeah, I still dance now.
For fun?
For fun, and it's also with, you know, modeling. I'm able to incorporate my dance into a lot of the projects I work on. They find out I'm a dancer, and then they're like, oh, well, can you hit some moves for us? And I'm like, sure, let me just...
Could you do a Black Swan kind of movie?
I would love to.
Could you do it?
Yeah.
You could easily do that.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Like if there's a role and you're an actress and there's dancing, you have a good shot at it.
I hope so. That would be like the dream.
Right? That would be great. You got to be telling your manager to look for shit like that. I guess there's not a lot of dance. Well, there are. There are more musicals and things like that you should be up for. Have you auditioned for anything?
Not really musicals, no.
No?
I need to get on that.
Your manager needs to get on that.
Yeah. We need to make a call after this.
I think so.
I think so too.
You were featured in Pink's Beautiful Trauma. How was Pink?
Yes. She was incredible. So I played Pink in her video Beautiful Trauma, and I didn't get the chance to meet her. We were like over FaceTime, and it was very cool to be able to collaborate with her. She was, I think, on tour at the time. So she was like helping us film this video, and she's overseas doing her thing and being amazing. And the choreographers RJ and Nick were, you know, extremely talented. They had this vision, and it was a very cool part to play. It was like back in like the 60s, and she's like beautiful and the trauma and kind of talk about like perfection and all these things.
Yeah.
And kind of that's where I began to start loving, you know, acting was through dance and all these things. Anytime I'm able to like perform and entertain people, that's where I like thrive. Starting so young, entertaining and dance, getting thrown up on a stage dancing for X Factor and it being live and having to nail all of your...
Were you nervous?
So nervous. And like having to nail your choreo, realizing like this is live, girl. So like...
Did you mess up at all?
No, thank God, because that would have been really bad.
You know, do you ever mess up?
Yes.
Okay, because you're going to do that a lot more of that.
Yes, I mess up a lot.
We all mess up.
100%.
So you know how to deal with it. You're like, okay, I messed up. Let's go.
Yes.
You can't get down. You have to just keep going. You get more takes.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Well,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
You go.
No, but that's what's very interesting when I began acting and talk about like self-tapes now, that being so big. Being in the room, it was very much like, it was like one shot and that was it. Then when like I kind of went from this dance into, from what I've been taught at such a young age, everything being perfect. Because in dance, there is no, obviously you're going to mess up, but like you're going to get in trouble by your choreographer. It's going to be a big ordeal. Like messing up is not allowed. So when I got into acting, I'd get a script and I thought everything had to be perfect. So like my dog or somebody would bark or the door would open and I'd hear like a creak and I'm like, oh,
Gotta redo it.
Yes. I'd be like, I got to redo it.
I don't.
And now I'm like, no, this is like what happens in life. This is real. So if my dog barks and I can play with it, then I'm going to go ahead and make it work. But like, it's very interesting coming from that perfectionism in dance and realizing like, let that all go into acting. You know, it's very, very interesting.
I did a self-tape.
Yeah.
Not too long ago. It's one of the few self-tapes I've done in recent history, in recent times. And I was doing it and I had somebody reading with me. And my friend Deneen, she had a couple drinks from some soccer thing that they were watching, and they came back to my house and we're hanging out. We're gonna order some food. And she was in the kitchen. She knew I was doing the tape. And in my audition tape, I thought it was so good that I'm not doing another take. And you could hear her go, "Ma," and immediately you hear, "Shh." Yeah, Tom told her to shush, her boyfriend, because she was about to start talking. She goes, he goes, "Shh." And you hear it, and I go, "No." It was a comedy at least, so let him laugh. Let him go, "What the hell was that?" It was loud. And I was like, tough shit. I'm not doing it again.
Oh my gosh. So
Guess what?
You booked it.
No, I didn't.
No.
Did not get the part. But the reason it was funny because when I read it, I go, they're gonna go for like a big dude, like Ethan Suplee, like a big, strong, bearded kind of guy who could be a coach of a team. And I was like, I don't know. I just said, I'm gonna try because I like it.
Yeah.
Tried it, and they said, "Yeah, he was great. We just want a bigger guy, and that's in our mind." I'm like, "Fine." That's rejection.
Yeah,
you have to.
Exactly.
I'm totally cool with rejection.
Yeah, same.
Now
here.
it's taken a long time, but I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I get over it quickly. It's not something that's easy.
Yeah.
It took me a long time. Your ego gets in the way, and you're like, "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with them? Fuck them."
Totally.
Yeah, frick them.
I think there's so many pieces to the puzzle when it comes to a role. You know what I mean? Like that's where facing rejection, I think, is you got to know how to deal with it and brush it off. Because it's like, if it's not your role, it's not meant for you, then it's just not meant to be. There will be another one around the corner that's for you and designed for you. Like there's so much that goes into it with the writers and everything, where I learned not to take it personally at a young age. Like there's so much that goes into it. It's not just like the one casting director that's like, "We love you." And then I get my hopes up. And then I'm like, no, it goes to like many other people,
By the way, you're really articulate. You're very like, what's the word? You handle yourself really well. Like for someone like, you're not, but you have like maybe an old soul.
I feel like I have an old soul.
I do, but you seem like you're definitely more mature than I am. By far. I don't know if your mom is, but right, Elizabeth? But no, you are. You handle yourself really well. It's not a condescending thing. It's I look up to you in that regard.
That. Thank you.
I do. But by the way, about dance, I'll say this quickly. It's rhetorical. You don't have to respond, and you've talked about it.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do regret in theater, when I trained theater and in college, all through college, is I didn't take a dance class. And I see how much dance can really help with movement as an actor and this. I didn't, but I can sort of dance without having to take that sort of dance.
Yeah.
I mean, I have fun and I can move a little bit and it's funny and whatever. But I could see how really intense dance and focus and that sort of thing can really help you as an actress.
Yes.
Or an actor.
I totally... 100% has. And modeling with movement and being able to pose, dance has been extremely beneficial. And
modeling and acting,
body language and all that type of things, being comfortable in my skin and feeling comfortable in your body. It's very important. So I'm thankful for dance in so many ways.
You also, we're going to end with the dancing stuff. We're not going to end with the dancing. I got a couple other things, like his Midnight Club and working with my boy Mike Flanagan and all that shit. We'll get into in a little bit. But you were a backup dancer also for Christina Aguilera, Aguilera. I missed, like, last night I was like, is Melissa Eskridge, is she straight? My friend goes, it's Etheridge. And then I messed up someone else badly. I was like, the name, I'm not good. I don't know.
Same.
But Katy Perry, Pink, you said Pink. Were they all, be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. Out of those three, you don't have to tell me the one. Was there one that you're like, she's a little attitude. She doesn't care about anybody else. She's like, or there's some attitude there. You're like, she's kind of not a nice person. You don't have to say who it is. There's three women. So none of them would know. Was one of those kind of like,
yeah,
okay.
There was one that I wouldn't necessarily say that they were they weren't very rude, but they just weren't very welcoming, I'd like to say. So I think also too, like, I could imagine it being your music video with hundreds of people around.
You don't have time for that. You're in your head.
Exactly. So that's why I don't take it personally. I'm like, hey, you know what? We don't have a conversation. That's totally fine.
Yeah. So Christina Aguilera was probably just busy. She probably had a lot going on. No, I'm kidding. Midnight Club.
Yes.
Well, you did this movie in 2020, Pearl.
Yes.
That looked like it was a difficult role, was it not?
Pearl was my first.
It's a little independent movie.
Yeah, my first lead role.
So you
with
were nervous.
Anthony LaPaglia.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it also had somebody else in there.
Ming Na Wen was in it.
Ming Na Wen, who was a friend of mine. She was on the podcast. She was fantastic. Was she great? Yes.
She is incredible. What's so wild is Bobby Roth, the director, told me a little bit about her, and then when she got there, I also like to come into things and really not know so much about people, because it almost brings this intimidation on, So I was happy that I didn't really I knew she had been in a couple things, and she was just so kind and just so humble that I was
awesome.
then after read and watched a bunch of her work, and I was like,
she's good.
She is incredible.
She's been in so many things.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. And Anthony LaPaglia?
Yeah.
Was he cool?
Amazing.
Do you still talk to him?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. But he was I think I'm so grateful of that being my my first, bigger role in a film. Being with him was just what he taught me. And I know I remember there was this one day where it was a pretty emotional scene, and I was putting so much pressure on myself of it has to be here, the whole perfection thing. It has to be perfect. I want to do great. I want to give my all. This is the first take. And I'm just putting so much added pressure on myself. So we do the first take, and he comes out and he pulls me aside. He's like, you are putting way too much pressure on yourself. Holy crap. He's like, shake that off.
Good for him.
And I was like, he's like, Larsen, you're coming into this wanting to start sobbing, crying. That is not what you you wouldn't just come up to me you're at a birthday party around a ton of people. It wouldn't, you as your own person wouldn't just come up sobbing, crying. It would just be over time something that develops. And most of the time you're trying not to cry.
That's the key.
So why are you trying to come into this bawling, crying? He's like, quit it.
That is genius.
Yes.
Because this helped me early on.
Yeah.
Someone said, human beings, we don't want to cry.
Yeah.
We do everything not to cry.
Yes.
So as an actor, you have to think, I'm supposed to cry in this scene. And you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And it comes out.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I don't want this. And so that's, if you play with that.
Totally.
That was the answer, wasn't it?
Yes. And literally I remember that the next take, I just came into it being don't cry. Don't
and you nailed it.
And it was I felt so great about it. I just came out, hugged him after.
Were you going, LaPaglia, 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 La?
No, seriously. But I'm really grateful for him and what he taught me through those 3 months, and just leading me and knowing it was my first thing. And just it was really a really
I
great
love
experience.
him. I love him. I have never met him, but I love him regardless.
Gosh, he's an incredible person. So it was a really
good first experience, because
very
that
good
could have been
experience.
tough.
Yeah.
You could have been working. I'm glad you didn't work with an insecure actor.
Yeah.
Whose ego and people are weird about things. Oh, she's
Yes.
prettier than I am, or she's this. I'm going to be a bitch. I'm going to be really, that could really affect you, especially early on.
Totally.
And the fact that you had two supportive people there, have your back, a good environment, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're very lucky. And I'm happy that it was a good experience.
Yeah.
Because it's not always that. I don't know how many actors I've worked with, not a ton, but people who you go, oh man, I just thought I was hoping they'd be cool. They're not cool. It's usually the really big stars who are cool, and the people who want to be famous, who are like right there, like think they have something to prove.
Yeah.
It's usually those guys.
It's very interesting as I've started to work more in acting and just seeing, I think, the dynamic of how you're treated as an actor on sets. And it's very interesting because I did the same kind of thing in dance, but was treated completely different.
Like you weren't there.
Like,
do this, you're going too high.
Like no water, just like you're stuck in a green room with just like chairs. As an actor, you're like guided on set every day, like in your trailer, like you're just treated.
Larsen, would you like a cookie?
Yes.
We have extra cookies from breakfast.
No, really. And these 80s, they come up, they're like, Larsen, what can I get? I'm like, hey, I got 2 feet. I'll go get my lunch. Don't worry about it. Like, I'll go
They'll
walk.
remember that.
I'll go walk and get it, please. Like, you're doing enough. And I think I've seen and become more grateful for that coming from dance and being treated, almost working more hours than I am in acting. I think even harder in dancing and just being treated completely different.
You're going to change.
I hope. No.
Here's the thing. This is going to happen for a while. You're a really good person. You're going to be this, but like after a while, I'm always nice. I'm never mean. But sometimes I'm like, Greg, I love you. What do you want? Could you get me a sandwich? Just a little mustard and turkey. That's it. I like,
No, my God, I do the same thing.
I don't want to always go get my shit.
No,
You've made it to a certain point where you're like, hey, people are here to help out and make your day easier so you can be better.
Totally.
So it's not like you're an asshole. As long as you're a kind person and you want people to like you.
Exactly.
I have that problem. I want everybody to like me, so I don't want to be a dick. But hey, what do you want for breakfast, Michael? I'm not going to be like, oh, I can go do that.
No, yeah.
If they're asking me, I'm in makeup. I don't want to get up.
Totally. Yeah, no, I definitely do. I'm just saying, like, from the difference of what I've seen.
I know.
Just the way that you get treated, it's so sad. It's just like, I think that's almost where the ego comes in acting. You know what I mean? When you are, everything's just kind of like, here you go, here, you know what I think it just.
People like kind of eat that up. And
yes.
Their ego swells and they're like, where's my this? Where's my they're like, where's my purse? Could you look for my purse? I think I left it on set. Where's my phone? I just I was gonna say, have you ever yelled at someone?
Yes.
Who have you yelled at?
I've yelled at a lot of people, Mike.
Are you a loud yeller?
I'm a pretty loud yeller, yeah.
Are you like conviction? Like you don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
Give me your best yell saying, don't ever do that again.
Don't ever do that again!
All right, Jason, can we do something with that? That was pretty good.
All right, let's just hit that on a replay really quick.
Do me a favor. Do it again back a little bit. No, I'm kidding. Well,
I have to say fuck.
What?
I have to drop.
Your ears hurt?
Fuck. That was loud.
What's that? Jason.
No, you even have earmuffs on.
That's a good yeller. By the way, if I was dating you and you yelled at me like that, I'd be, oh my gosh.
So I think if it's
Lord.
a yell like that
now.
comes out you have to
I
really,
don't yell a lot.
No. But back to like what I was saying growing up, like my family, if there's a problem or somebody walks in like with their head down and there's something on their chest, my parents will be the first people to be like, what is it? Like, open it up.
Right.
Like, let's talk. Let's sit at the table. Let's get into the good stuff and figure out why you're acting the way you are. So I'm like grateful for that in a lot of ways. But some people come over and it's very like, wow, your family's very loud sometimes, or they're very emotional sometimes, and
but also very warm, engaging. I feel like my parents never let people spend the night. I never really could have friends over. I hated, I resented them for that. I always stayed at my friends' houses. I was always there. They welcomed me. It was fun. My grandmother, her house was open to everybody. My friend Carrie, and so I love that you have a family that you could just go in and be comfortable. Like, I feel like I could already go into your house and just plop on the couch and go, Elizabeth, grab me a root beer. She would. Yeah. Or she'd say, get it your damn self. You have legs. That's probably what you say. Midnight Club.
Yes.
Mike Flanagan created, wrote, if you don't know him, Haunting of Hill House, Oculus, Hush. It goes on and on. Yeah. He's amazing. He's a kind soul. He's super talented. Dr. Sleep. What was it like working with Mike Flanagan? Did you have any of those big monologues?
No.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Did some people have that?
Yes.
Were they scared?
Yes.
He has those, and it's one of the reasons why I'm too scared to work with him right now. I can't learn a 3-page monologue.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I won't get through it. Not 3 pages. I'll get through half a page, and then I'll go, okay, what's the line? And then you'll have about 3 cutaways. That's it. Yeah. But what was he like?
Mike.
Did he yell?
No. So Mike is, like you said, he is just the most warm, kind. He's just such a grounded individual, and it just blew me. It made me enjoy the experience and enjoy working with him even more, just seeing what a great person he is. But I think something I love is just how clear his vision is and how that shines through in the way that he directs us as actors.
He knows what he wants.
He knows what he wants. Mm-hmm. And that was really great working with somebody like that who would just come up and be like, hey, Larsen, try it like this. And then I'd be like, oh, you're right. I didn't even think of doing it like that. Let's do it. Let's just try it. And I love so for the Midnight Club, most of the, within the group of kids, it was some of them their first project. And so I remember we did at our table read during prep, the first 2 weeks, Mike took us through and just basically walked through basically everything you'll need to know to be an actor on set. And
did anybody get fired from the table read?
No.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that. And I think it was very helpful that what I love about him too is the fact that he gives people a chance. You know what I mean? Mike isn't.
He wants to see you shine.
Yes. And he's very just welcoming and made everyone feel so comfortable. He's so experienced, and everyone was just learning what to do for the first time. And he was like, hey, for the first take, do what you've practiced. Second take, have some fun with it. Third take, do whatever you want. Let's just lose everything you've set up in your mind and the choices you've made.
And it was always like that?
Yeah.
That's how it always should be. That's what I would say. Read it how it's written first. Second take, if we got it, then we're going to go just try something.
Yes.
Did you work with my good buddy Robert Longstreet?
No.
Oh, you didn't get to work with him. He played the janitor. No. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Do you do any accents, by the way, or impressions?
No.
You can't do any impressions, any dialects?
I really need to work on my British accent.
I'm not. That's the one thing I could do a better Australian, I think. Perth, Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne.
That's great. And my family's all from Melbourne.
Really?
On my mom's side.
Do you ever go there?
Never been.
It's awesome.
Oh, I want to go so bad.
It's awesome. I've been there a couple times.
Dang.
Robert Longstreet.
He was the janitor in Midnight Club for 2 episodes.
Let me see a
He
picture
is
of him.
this.
You'll know him. You'll go, oh yeah. Watch.
This dude.
Oh yes. Okay. No, so I didn't meet him. Sadly.
Was he good?
Yes.
He's always good.
I mean, what I love about the Midnight Club is it's very,
Character.
which I'm very sad it didn't get picked up for a second season. But
were you surprised?
I was a little bit surprised. I think
I was too, because everything Flanagan does, it goes.
Yeah. And I think though the message even within the first season is just so well done, and I think it explores life and death through the eyes of young kids.
I love the concept, and
it's just the way that Christopher Pike, and actually reading up the story behind how the Midnight Club came to be for Christopher Pike, a mother of her daughter who was very sick reached out to him with cancer and said that they would meet and talk about Christopher Pike's books at night. So she said, can you write a book about us? And that's how the Midnight Club came to be. And I'm like, wow, that is just so incredible.
cool.
And then the way that Mike just, through all the stories, how each, story feeds into the past of the characters or, feeds their own character development was just so well done. Like, I just am blown away. Like, being able to see the whole thing, because I didn't get to work with the 7 kids directly. I'm playing back in the 60s, young Samantha Stalone. So I didn't get to act with them as a group. So being able to watch the series straight through and see them as a unit, and gosh, my friend Ruth Codd, she just blew me away.
Really?
And her backstory, she was found off TikTok. And so talk about like how things have changed. It's just like,
isn't that amazing? Back in the day, if you did TV, you couldn't do film. And film people, snobs. I'm not doing TV.
Wow.
And now everybody wants to do TV.
Yes.
Everybody wants to do a series, streaming. Name one person who doesn't. Kevin Costner's doing it. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
Helen Mirren's doing a new series or some shit.
That's so wild. So it was like
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. So if it
Forget
was like
about
if you're
it.
in TV,
You can do what you want now.
Yeah.
You do YouTube, fine. You're a YouTube star, great.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
This is called Shit Talking with Larsen Thompson. These are rapid fire. These are questions from my top tier patrons. I love them. They support the podcast. It truly helps us. Go to patreon.com/inside of you and I'll send you a message. Here we go. I think she's laughing at me.
I just love
Not
seeing your
with me.
expressions. Each time I look over, I'll be like, I'm
Larsen,
used
are
to
you
this.
laughing at me or with me?
I'm laughing with you.
You
I
think?
love to laugh.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, hang around us.
Yeah.
At least
I
for
think
another
that's
few minutes.
also why people enjoy my company. Is
Oh,
that
so
I
you
will
laugh
always,
at everybody.
No,
Great.
no. I just am I laugh very easily. So people, I think, like to have me around because it makes them think which you are funny. But like, if you want to feel funny, just have me around for the day because I will laugh.
Really? Yeah. That's
It's
a good
weird, though,
person
'cause
to be
when I
around. I like that because, I always say I want someone that could enjoy things that I really enjoy. Like, don't laugh at me, folks, listeners. But I like going to the mall sometimes. My friend Sharon and I will go shopping. We'll have a coffee. We'll sit on a Brookstone massage thing.
I love them all too.
I like going, doing stupid stuff, shopping, going to whatever. I don't want to lose that inner child.
No.
What?
But you're doing an impression, and I'm trying to think of what it was.
I don't want to do this. What is this? What am I doing?
Was it walking?
I
I don't know.
I wasn't doing walking. I could do it if you want. I think they're probably tired of me doing it. Kelly S., how was it like working with Heather Langenkamp?
Oh, Heather. Heather's very...
There you go. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
Well, she signed my poster. I hope so. Go ahead.
Oh, Heather. So Heather and I didn't get to work directly with one another.
But you met.
But we met. The nicest. She is so sweet.
Yeah,
She
legend.
Like, gave me a hug like the first time we met and just like a total dream. She sat at like our table read when we were like giving an introduction for how to basically be an actor on set. And she was like acting as if she's learning everything for the first time too. I'm just like, you are like...
Did you have her sign anything?
No, I
Boo.
should have.
Little Lisa, what was it like? What was the last TV show you binged watched?
Ooh, the last... Gosh, I watched
Did you watch
so
Dahmer?
many shows. No.
So dark. Oh my Lord.
You know what I'm watching? I'm binging it right
Blackbird.
now. No, For All Mankind on Apple TV. Probably one of my favorite shows of all time.
I remember trying to start it and I was
Okay,
bored.
so yeah, the first 3 episodes,
Ooh.
it's
But
hard
it
to
gets
watch.
great.
Oh,
All right, will you
if
email
ask
me that to remind me?
Yes, if you
I'll
ask
watch it.
my mom got me onto it, I can't stop watching.
Let's
The acting,
want to try that series?
it's unbelievable.
All right.
Just get through the first 3 episodes, and then
It's one of those where you just
It
gotta get
is.
through the first.
They say that about
because it
Wired.
sets the story.
The show
you know?
Wired. They talk about that show. And they're like, one of the best shows ever made. I'm like, I watched 2 episodes and I could not sit through it. And they're like, you
Wow.
just have to get through like 3 or 4 and then it's brilliant. And I'm like, oh Lord. Kind of like White Lotus. I was like,
Yeah, I
I don't
never
like
watched
anybody. It's just like, I don't know. And I kept watching and watching. And then at the end, it got better.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to watch 5 episodes I don't care about. But people love it. I get it. I don't know. I like it. I didn't hate it. I'd say, yeah, watch it. You should definitely watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I just wasn't, I'll never do that show.
No, I
guess.
think I want you to watch it because the acting too is just phenomenal.
All right. Jackie R. Favorite role you've played so far?
Favorite role I've played so far? Probably, I've really enjoyed Julia Jane in the Midnight Club.
Midnight Club.
Just being able to play those
In the
flashbacks and be in the 60s. I've like always wanted to do period.
What's your favorite 60s song?
Oh, God.
Just walk away, Renee. No, 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 no. I think it's 60s.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know
lost
that
me
one?
there.
La, 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 la.
But there was a one song we were playing when I was on set that day, and I'm like,
Can't remember it.
yeah, from the 60s. And I was like, I could live in this era.
Mm.
I think I was meant to live in this era.
Maya P., what would you be doing now if you weren't acting or dancing?
Probably playing soccer.
Well, you can't do that for a living.
Yeah, you could.
You have neck problems.
No,
And it's too late to start.
No, but if I hadn't been dancing, I wouldn't have gotten the neck problem.
Good. I like it. Soccer.
Okay, so soccer player.
I'm not going to crush your dreams if you weren't doing your dreams now.
Yeah.
I'm dream crushing right now.
A little bit.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Okay, Raj, last questions. Tell me a personal sacrifice you feel you've had to make to pursue a career in the entertainment industry.
Wow.
Can I guess?
Yeah, sure.
It's hard to be away from your family, and it's like for the first time you're actually away doing different things and you miss them.
Yeah.
What else?
No, I like that's pretty great because it is. It's very isolating sometimes. Like just being away for 3 months, 6 months, filming something, and
Right.
you're just like, I'm very close to my family. I have a hard time being alone, and it is part of the job. Thankfully, like my parents can come out and like visit, which they haven't yet. You know,
Bastards.
so
Have you ever had a beer?
no,
Have you ever had vodka?
no
Have you ever had an alcoholic beverage?
wine in Greece.
Did you like it?
No.
Did you throw up?
No, I didn't. But my parents were this is the story.
They drink?
No, so my parents are actually 22 years sober. They were both alcoholics.
Wow. Well, there you go. That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, it's in the blood, maybe.
Exactly.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's funny. My parents were never big drinkers. Yeah. I never was worried about being addicted to the alcohol. Never had that addiction. Ryan,
Me?
Yeah.
No,
you drink?
I do.
Not a lot.
My parents live in wine country, so there's wine all the time.
Country.
Yeah.
This has been a real treat.
This has been a treat. Thank you guys so much.
I was
Michael.
hoping you never laugh and that you were just laughing because wow, this is funny
No,
stuff.
Michael.
No, you made it very clear, abundantly clear. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking with you. I really enjoy this. And I'll be honest with you. Can I be completely open? I talked to Ryan. I'm like,
Yeah.
look, I don't know Larsen.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a big body of work yet. She's, just growing and she's great. And but I don't know. I'm like, what angle? What is there? Cause I like to and it was so easy to just go, what is not free base? What's a free?
Jesus, no.
What is it called?
Just start something and then continue talking.
Free form.
Free form,
Yeah.
free flow. It was just, you were so easy to talk to. You had stories, you had things about your life. You're proud of who you are. You're proud of your family. It was refreshing. It's refreshing to sometimes not hear about, because this industry can weigh on you. And, people get into drugs, people get into alcohol, people get into,
Totally.
there's a lot of bad things out there. And the fact that you haven't been affected by that and you're in this business and you're pretty grounded, it makes me really happy. It makes me have hope for the world and young people and whatever, just, you're not that young. I'm not like you're 15, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, no,
you know what I
really
mean?
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Don't forget the little people.
Oh, come on.
Well, come on. I've heard that before. I mean, there's people that
No, we'll be sitting here 10 years from now.
Yeah, and I'll be like, what was it like beating up Meryl Streep in that scene? And you're like, it was hard because I don't really like, hitting or,
No, I actually do. I enjoy all that stuff. The grungy stuff.
Oh boy.
Put me where I can like be beating people up.
Oh, why don't we talk about that? What's also cool is when you lashed out a minute ago, whether Jason cuts it or not, she screamed, and it might have been too loud for the mic, but maybe it's in there. I don't know. But It was funny because the contrast, I saw you're able to turn on a dime. You're able to just go frick off.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the podcast. Thanks for allowing me to be inside of you on the podcast. And it was a real treat. Ryan, did you have a good time?
Great time.
Yeah. What a refreshing interview.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See ya.
Oh, wait. What's your handle?
Larsen Thompson.
At
Larsen Thompson on everything. Not Thompson Larsen, like Michael.
Well, there's not at. You didn't just give away your email, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like.
Because you said at.
No, like Instagram handle at Larsen.
Larsen with an E. Larsen, not O like a grandma.
Yeah.
And anything brewing coming up? But you have the horror movie, Horrorscope.
Yes, that comes
January
out in 2023.
If you're horror fans like me, you better be looking for that.
Yes. And I'm actually launching my first single in music.
Are you Larsen Thompson?
Yeah.
It's just Larsen Thompson?
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear some of your stuff. I have a band called Sunspin.
I know.
You do?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because I knew that.
Oh, good. Keep watching. Thanks. See you. Wonderful human being. It was a joy to have her on, full of life. I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure you don't know her or didn't know her. And I think she's such a good spirit. And she got Anthony LaPaglia. He's coming on the podcast.
Oh,
she
nice.
worked with him, and I've been emailing with him. And he said, yeah, come on the podcast.
Cool.
So she was really cool to help me out with that.
Cool.
All right. Thank you for listening. And inside of your online store, go there. Great merch, like I talked about in the beginning, if you didn't hear about it. Also, Sunspin, my band, Sunspin, the album is out, streaming everywhere. Please listen to it, download it, put it on Spotify, support the band. Sunspin, the new album is Never Is What It Is. It's, you know what? I never do this, Ryan.
What, you're going to play a Sunspin song? You never do that.
I really don't, do I? Very rarely.
Well, it's been a while.
And it's been a while. Remember that song? All right, this is the song, the theme song from
Stained
from Talkville. Have a listen if you haven't heard it.
Friday night, you lost your self-control. Saturday, you left me all alone. When I'm with you, I just don't feel at home. What am I here for? What am I here for?
All right. All right, there you go.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that song. It's What Are We Here For? So download it, please. You can also buy the CD on sunspin.com and a ton of other cool merch and get a Zoom with me and Rob.
It also feels like it belongs in the trailer for an indie movie.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Kind of like a 50 Years of Summer.
Yeah.
What was the movie called?
Oh,
500 Days of Summer.
Yeah.
Like an anthem.
I was picturing Mark Duplass running through a field or something, you know?
Yeah, I love it. So we're working on trying to get placement and stuff, and that's always hard, but we'll see what happens. But most importantly, we're proud of it, and we accomplished this, and I urge you to go follow your dreams and your passions. Thanks for listening. We're going to do the major components, integral parts of this podcast, the top tier patrons. Here we go. Nancy D, Leah S, Sarah V, Little Lisa, Yukiko, Jill E, Brian H, Nico P, Robert B, Jason W, Sophie M, Raj C, Joshua D, Jennifer N, Stacy L, Jamal F, Janelle B, Mike E, Eldon Supremo 99 more, Santiago M,
Gary Oldman,
Chad W, Leanne P, Janine R. I have to get into it. When you're dealing with an industry like this, you have to have a great ego. And Francis Ford Coppola has an ego the size of San Francisco. Leanne P, Janine R, Maya P, Maddie S, Belinda N, Dave H, Sheila G, Brad D, Ray H. Ray, Ray had a baby. Happy baby, Ray. Raby. I'm so proud of you and happy. Thank you for being such an amazing patron and person, and we all love you. Happiness and healthiness. Tabitha T. Hi, Tabitha. Tom, how are you? Tom N. Liliana A. Talia M. Betsy D. Haven't talked to you in a while. Good Lord. Chad B. Dan N. Angel M. Rhiannon C. Corey K. Deb Nixon. Michelle A. Jeremy C. Brandy D. Camille S. Joey M. Eugene and Leah. You should put Eugene and Leah and the baby's name. I forgot the baby's name. It wasn't Lex, was it? Corey, Heather L. Jake B. Megan T. Angela F. Mel S. Orlando C. Caroline R. Christy S. Christine S. Sorry. Eric H. I'm going to have a drink of water.
I wish you would.
Shane R. Emma R. Andrew M. Zatoichi 77. Andreas N. Oracle. Karina N. Hi, Karina. Amanda R. Jenny B. Jen B. Kevin E. Stephanie K. Jarrell. Jammin J. Leanne J. Jammin with Jam and J. Leanne J. Luna R. Cindy E. Mike F. Stone H. Stonehenge. Just remember Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. I just remember Spinal Tap.
Stonehenge.
It's Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. Stonehenge.
And the people of Stonehenge.
And the people of Stonehenge. Mike S. Brian L. Katie B. Aaron R. Kendall L. House of Joel. Joel. House of Joel. Meredith I. Professor Dr. Scoots. Prof. Dr. Scoots. Hi, Dr. Scoots. How are you? Charlene C. Kara C. Mary R. Kyle F. Marisol P. Could not do the podcast without you. Period. The end. I will not ramble on about it. It's just the damn truth. Thank you for joining. If you're not a Patreon, please join and join the fun. Thanks for listening, guys. I love you. From Michael Rosenbaum here in the Hollywood Hills of California.
Right tails.
Right tails. I love that voice. Little wave to the camera. We love you guys. Thank you. And of course, be good to yourself. Please. I'll see you next week.